Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
All right, welcome back to the show. We've got a great guest for you today. We've got Rocko Stedy with us, and he's got some interesting things that he's going to share with us, and you're going to come away with some great stuff. He's a highly motivated individual and super excited. I've worked with him on some events, and I'm just glad that he took the time to spend with us today to share how he impacts the world. So welcome to the show, Rocko.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Mr. Haynes. How's everything going?
Oh, I'm great. And you can call me T or Tracy. You don't have to refer to me as Mr. Haynes, but I appreciate
authority
it.
Man. Tito. I'll call you Tito.
There you go. Thank you very much. So, let's just get right into it. Tell us about exactly, about your business and what it is that you do to help people, and who do you work with?
I'm an inspirational hip-hop artist, and I've developed a concept called the gift wrapper. I believe in the power of words. So words can either destroy or build, right? And I've discovered this throughout my whole career in my life because hip-hop was a big influence in my life, and hip-hop influenced me to do wrong things and led me down the wrong path. And I realized that the power of words combined with music was a huge, almost subconscious influence in my life. So what I did was I created a company called The Gift Wrapper, where I take businesses, organizations, individuals, festivals, events, anything with a mission or a vision. What I can do is I sit with my clients and I create custom theme songs where it embodies their vision and their mission.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And, you hit it on the head about the information and the words, how that impacts people. And I've seen you perform, and I've seen how it impacts people. But how did you get started doing this, or how did you get into this field?
4 years ago, one of my great friends passed away, and I sat with his mother. And she told me all about his life and all the good things. And I realized that as human beings, we oftentimes can choose a side in the fence. We can either pick to focus on the negative, or we could focus on the positive. And she was really upbeat, and she was, despite the fact that her son passed away, she was very positive in celebrating her son's life. And when I gotten home, everything just stayed in my spirit. And I created a song for Kenneth. And when I created a song for Kenneth, it led me down a path of creating songs for a lot of other people that had passed away. They called me an obituary rapper. So it started with creating songs for people that were passing away. And as I realized, I can create songs for people that are alive. So people like yourself, you have a story to tell. You have a struggle. You have a wonderful biography. And what I do is I sit with people and I listen to their stories. And I have a passion for hearing people's stories because it inspires me to continue my path as an entrepreneur and as a person with a dream. As I say, I don't believe in chasing your dream. I believe in living your dream. And every single day that I get an opportunity to meet a beautiful person with an inspiring story, it allows me to create almost like supplemental fuel for myself so I can continue to persevere and pursue my personal dream.
Nice.
So that's how I got started. And I used to be a battle rapper, Tracy. So I don't know if you're familiar with battle rap. What I did for a living was I destroyed people with my words. So it's almost like banter, and you would take whatever was in front of you, the way they looked, the way they dressed. If you did, background research on them, you would talk about whatever flaws they had in life, and you would compete like you were savages with words. And one day I realized that I had made somebody cry, and it was my own prerogative to make you cry if I would battle you. And I realized I was translating into my life. I was battle rapping while I was conversing with people. So from my family to my girlfriend at the time to my friends, I realized that all of them disliked me. And they're like, man, why are you such a punk? Why are you so mean? And I was like, I didn't realize I was even being mean, but I was programmed through repetition and through, the dopamine, the serotonin, and you can rewire your brain. It's almost like brainwashing. I call it mind cleansing because, when you feed your brain positive things on a constant basis, like, for example, this morning, something negative happened to me, and typically I would have responded and reacted in a very negative way, but because I'm constantly filling my brain with positive things, personal development, when I hear something negative, it's almost like an automatic filter. It filters and it allows me to focus on the positive things, view failures as a lesson, and allow myself to move my focus. Where energy goes, energy flows. So that's what I realized that my music was doing, and I wanted to dedicate my life to showing people the power of words and showing how that impacts your thoughts and how your thoughts impact your actions, and your actions impact your decision impacts your results, and the results create the momentum in whatever direction you're moving in life. And I figured that if I can do this for myself, people are like, man, Rocko, you're so inspiring, and this, that, and the other. And I'm grateful to have that responsibility and to be able to inspire people. But what people don't realize is I'm actually doing this to inspire myself, because that's the best relationship you can ever have, is the one that you have with yourself. So on a daily basis, Tracy, I'm constantly pumping my brain up and my ears and my eyes with personal development, people that I absolutely adore and love, that are like I call them my audio mentors, like from Zig Ziglar to Les Brown to Tony Robbins. Take these people's concepts and what they've dedicated their life to, and what I do is I translate it into hip-hop, and I reframe it into urban language, so that way the urban youth can have the potential to listen to it, because a lot of times they won't relate to an individual that's as eloquent as John Maxwell. Like, you have to be somewhat of a level of education, or you have to understand the linguistics and the language that they're speaking. So if I'm going to the Philippines to teach, they would resonate much more if I spoke their language. So that's what I dedicated my life to doing, was to improving my own personal life. And as a result, it's impacted other people around me. And I get a rise out of performing in places that never have hip-hop performances at. So conferences, seminars. Some of my clients are Wells Fargo, Shell, the city of Houston with the mayor. And these are clients of mine that I've been blessed to work with, and I never thought I'd be able to work with them. But I just, I like taking risks, and I like asking questions, and I like being told no. So yeah. I like getting clients that I never would have thought I possibly could, just to increase my human experience on earth,
Beautiful. That's quite the noble cause, and my hat's off to you to, realizing that, hey, I got to turn this into a positive experience and impact people's lives. So you mentioned a significant event that caused that, but along the way, did you have, I know as an entrepreneur and the level of where you're at, that you've read some books. Is there any one book that stood out to you?
Oh, yeah, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. I listened to some audiobooks from this gentleman named Kevin Trudeau, which is Your Wish is Your Command. And what I really got out of that one was, you don't know what you don't know, and that you have to constantly have a very high teachability index. Because a lot of times the reason that we fail is because we think we know what we know, because our ego gets in the way. So one thing that has helped me tremendously is to have an open mind and open heart, and to have a filter of my spirit and my intuition. So I'm open to hearing anything, but the moment that my intuition blocks it and tells me, no, that's not good for your spirit, then I trust in my spirit, because indefinitely we all have infinite knowledge. We're all tapped into the same source. So that's a spiritual aspect of my beliefs. But those books definitely helped supplementally with the way that I think. I've read Think and Grow Rich probably 47 times.
Nice. That's impressive.
Yeah, and what I do is the moment that I read something, or the moment that I hear something, I immediately pick up the phone and call 3 people, and I teach it to them. I engage in normal conversation. I'll be like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And then I'll just be like, hey, you know what I was thinking today? And I'll teach what I just heard, or I'll teach what I just learned, because, teaching it tricks your brain into believing that you already know it. And it almost like applies it immediately. And after teaching it to 3 people, I'll go apply it in my life in some sort of way.
That's amazing. What really deep down drives you or gives you the passion to do what you're doing?
I just know how it feels to be down. I know how it feels to be down on my luck, to be broke, to be broken, to be heartbroken, to cry. I know that we're all going through a journey in life, And I have a huge passion for people, and I know that I can't change anybody. And I'm very empathetic. You know, I feel people's emotions immediately, and it's very draining. So what really motivates me is if I can plant seeds and just show people my light, and not be scared to share my light with the world, because oftentimes that can be scary because you're afraid of your own potential. But if I can stretch myself and make it habitual enough for me to stretch my potential and become obsessed with shining and experiencing and loving life, what it does is it allows other people to see the light in themselves. And that's what inspires me. I believe that there's a God inside of everybody. And if the right person, the right message, the right seed is planted, that God will come out.
So talk about some of these organizations you speak to. What would be the scenario when a corporation calls you? How would you use your gift to help them accomplish their goal, whatever they're seeking?
Well, a lot of times it just depends on what they're seeking, you know, what their agenda and their goal is. But a lot of times what I provide is energy. A lot of these organizations, they're corporate and they're standardized to a system that they're used to. What I provide for companies and corporations and organizations is entertainment. I allow people feel like it's okay to be yourself and remind you of the simple things in life that'll leave you happy. Inspiration is what I provide. And hip-hop music is a very striking genre of music. It's very in your face. So if you want to drill a message in for your event, or if you want to entertain your event and shock your audience for these organizations, for these events, for these festivals, what I do is I translate your vision and your mission and encapsulate it into a catchy, entertaining song, so that way your employees, your guests, not only are entertained, but I believe that my words will transform them in some sort of aspect, whether the way they think, it'll challenge the way they think or challenge the way they feel and inspire them to action.
So how long is the process when somebody calls you and says, hey, I want you to come and, you know, entertain us? And how long is the process for you to come up with a solution for them or a song?
It's almost instantaneous. It's a spirit thing, you know. Once I listen to their goal and their vision and their mission, I literally just sit down and I'll produce a track. Producing the track, I believe in simplicity, so inspiration should never be forced. So I clear my head, I clear my space and my environment from all distractions. I turn my phone off and I zone out, and usually the whole process will take me about an hour and a half. I'll be done with the track.
It requires just a meeting or just a phone conversation, or how does that work?
Yeah. For example, if you wanted a theme song, Tracy, I would schedule an hour-long conversation with you, and I would do exactly what you're doing with me. I would interview you, and I'd listen to number one, what is the goal of the song for you? What will mean a lot to you? So, for example, I have a friend who can't see his daughter. So the mission and the goal for the song was to create a song for his daughter where it would have a message from Daddy that she can listen to in the morning, she can listen to in the evening, listen throughout the day if she's ever sad. Or I have another client whose kid is getting bullied. I made a song about how to stand up for yourself, and I customized it with her name in it. I expressed the moments that the mother knew where the little girl expressed strength. So we put real life personal experiences in there, you know, like, we're proud of you. This is what you've done in your life. Remember that you're strong. Don't allow people to step on you, that kind of thing. It just depends on what the goal of the song is. Once we realize the goal of the song, then we can find a direction and fit the pieces into the puzzle. So it's all, the variables will be based on the goal of the song. So, for example, if you came to me and you wanted a song about authority, becoming an authority figure in your industry, then the goal would be to summarize how you would become an authority figure in your industry and how you do that. So I would take your passion, take your goal, take your business, take your mission statement, take your business plan and what you're offering, and I would make a very concise, simple song that's catchy, so that way your clients will gravitate towards your service.
Very cool.
We gotta make you a theme song.
Yeah, that's awesome. So somebody wants to work with you or have you come and perform at one of their events. What do they need to do that?
They would just contact me directly, whether it be email through my website, www.rockostedy.com, which is ROCKOSTEDY.com, or contact my business line, which is 832-973-2588. Once again, that's 832-973-2588. And just contact. And what we'll do is we'll set a budget. Once the budget is set, we can rock and roll. It just depends on what your needs are, whether you need me to create a song for media purposes, whether it's an advertisement on television, advertisement on the radio, or whether it's something personal, whether it's something you want to manifest into your life. I can sit down with you and talk about your dreams, create a song about what you want to manifest into your life. And I believe that if you listen to it day in and day out throughout the day, at least 5 to 10 times every single day for the next 30 days, something magical will happen where your actions will correspond and follow the words that are on the song.
Yes, and it's been proven to work. So that's an awesome service that you provide to society and making a positive impact. And I'm just so grateful that I got to meet you and you performed at our event. That was awesome, and I just want to thank you for that. And
thank you for your support and your love. It means a lot, and it's amazing. Like, the power of words, Tracy, is just absolutely baffling. When I discovered it, everything in my life changed. You know, for example, how many times a day do you check your email?
Probably too many.
Okay, so a lot of times people have that habit. You know, I definitely have that habit. I probably check my email 10 times in the last hour. Here's something that I would suggest to people. Change your email password to something that you want this season of your life to happen. Like, for example, the season of my life when I was working a job, Tracy, it was to live free, right? Live free. I didn't want a job anymore. I wanted to live free. So I made my password, Live Free 27. That was my password. And I forced myself to not have auto entrance, you know, like auto save or whatever. So every time I checked my email, I would have to type in Live Free 27, Live Free 27, Live Free 27. And I would probably put it into my phone or my computer. I'd probably retype that over and over and over again, probably like 180 times a day. And guess what? In 3 months, my mind was like programmed to live free. So everything that I didn't want to do, I no longer was doing it. I only surrounded myself with things that inspired joy, and I left the job, and I lived free. And then, you know, Actions 27, that was one of my passwords, and that was actions speak louder than words. You know, like I would talk about something, but then I slowly stopped talking about things, and I started moving towards action. That's the power of words, and this is stuff that I share with people while I'm in the process of creating. Is I want to really show people the power of words and show people the power of belief and the power of choice. And that's part of my service. And, you know, I'm just going through my journey. Honestly, I've just been blessed to have figured out a portion of my purpose in this life. I have so many other things in my brain and my soul that are coming out. The more I remove distractions and the more that I trust and believe and constantly fuel myself with not only information that is empowering and positive, but with individuals that support me, such as yourself, people that lift me up, and all sorts of different types of people from all around the world. That's what's going to change people's lives. That their paradigm will shift, and their words literally will change their life. It's what you say.
That's right. The power is in the tongue, for sure.
Yeah, life and death in the power of the tongue, right?
Absolutely. So awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, again, thank you for joining us today. You got some great
Thanks for having me.
For our audience, and we look forward to getting this out there. So thanks again for being on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there you have it for this edition of the show. We'll see you the next time.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.